This is Andrea. I would like to talk about pain management today. And before I start, I should say that I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. It's information that I have from my own experience. And I'm just sharing that to hopefully if I can help other people, or if anybody else has ideas, they can let me know. First of all, when I first was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, the doctor asked me, do NSAIDs work for me, which are, well, he was asking about the over-the-counter ones, which are like naproxen, and which would also be called naproxen, and I can't think what the other one's called. Advil. These never worked for me. They don't take my joint pain away, and they do not reduce the swelling for me. So he did start me on a prescription NSAID for a while. I cannot remember what it's called, but it was stronger than naproxen, and it did not help me. I think I was on that for a couple months, and it made no difference at all for me. So he took me off that. Now this is I'm just talking about the pain right now. I'm not talking about the other medicines I've been on, because I have been on other medicines to lower the inflammation and to slow down the damage that's done to the joints, and I'll probably talk about that in another video, but right now I'm just talking about pain management. I was put on tramadol, and that is a synthetic opioid, which years ago they thought that synthetic opioids were safer. They didn't believe that they had the same risks of addiction because of the fact that they are synthetic. They've since discovered that that's not true. People have been having just as much trouble getting off the synthetic opioids as they have on the natural opioids. Well, I was on tramadol for, I think, 3 years. It was somewhere between 2 and 3 years, probably closer to 3 years. And it took some of the pain away. It kind of took the edge off the pain, and I got used to that. It was hard, like when it would wear off. Being back to the regular amount of pain was difficult. They had me scheduled for a high dose, but I did not take the high dose because I am very sensitive to medication. I don't need as high a dosage usually for the same effect as with some other people. I don't know why. I'm not lightweight or anything like that. It's just always been that way. It was the same way for my dad. So I was on that for almost 3 years, and the longer I was on it, the less it actually did for me, the less it actually helped me. It was only taking a little bit of the pain away, and it was less and less as the months went by. And at one point, I had forgotten to, I had missed an appointment, and I didn't call in for my prescription refill. And it was a weekend, and all these things on top of each other. So it ended up, I did not have my medication for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3 days. I went through what to me was extreme withdrawal symptoms. I was sweating. I couldn't sleep. I was shaking. Like I had this weird feeling in my head. I don't know if you'd call it your mind is racing, and I felt really weird, like my muscles all felt weird. I felt like I'd have to sit in a hot bath all the time to try and calm my muscles down. And at this point, I didn't sleep for at least 2 nights. And on the Monday I said, I need my prescription. And he wrote my prescription. And at that point I decided I have to go off this medicine because it's hardly helping me. And then I'm having these withdrawal symptoms. That was very scary to me because I never had that kind of withdrawal symptom from any other medicine. So I tried weaning myself. At first I tried just doing the thing where I was taking it 4 times a day. So then I was trying to take half of that amount. I can't remember how much it was, honestly, if I was taking a pill and I took a half a pill. Actually, I don't think I was allowed to split it because of the way the medication was made. But I was trying to lower it that way and it was not working. I'd have to go back up. So I started looking up things on the internet, how other people did it. And I should look up this website again. I probably have it bookmarked on my computer, but it was one where they had advice. I didn't do it exactly the way they did it. I took a couple weeks for each. I took like at least 2 weeks for each dosage step down. And they had vitamins to add to it. And like I took the stuff that's in Epsom salt. What is that? Magnesium. I took a magnesium supplement. I took 2 vitamin B supplements. I think that's it. And it took me months to step down. It must have took me at least 4 months to step down off that medication. And every now and then I still get this feeling. It like happens in my leg muscles for some reason. I'll just get this feeling, this shaky, weird, I don't know how to describe it, that I feel like if I just took that medicine again, it would make it go away. So it's not completely gone, but it's enough that, and it's been over a year since I've been off tramadol. I don't think I'll ever go back on an opioid. It's not happening. So if you have to go off an opioid, I would talk to your doctor. Definitely talk to your doctor. Tell them what you're going through. They don't always understand because they've been told that this is non-addictive and whatever, but just say this is what you want to do. If it's what you want to do. I did talk to my doctor about it. He, like I said, he didn't think it was a big deal, but because I wanted to do it, he said I could go off it. And then look up different ways people have done it who've actually gone off the medication. And I'm not a doctor again. That's just what I've done. Also, the whole time, I guess since I started on the tramadol, I've been doing breathing techniques. It's kind of like, sometimes it's a deep breath where it's like taking a deep breath and then slowly let it out. Because sometimes, this has helped me with pain. It kind of takes the edge off. Because what happens is when you're in pain, you tend to go, you like hold your breath. That's why when you're taking classes before you give birth, they always concentrate on breathing. Like when I gave birth, when I was in labor, if I held my breath, it was more painful. Plus, the baby was not getting enough oxygen. But if I just breathed, into it or made sure I breathed every time, not clench up because I was in pain, the pain lessened. And that helps to some extent. Not 100%, but it helps to some extent. Also, I found that I like to do yoga. Now, when I say I like to do yoga, I don't mean I'm twisted in a pretzel and I'm upside down. I can't really do that kind of stuff. I can do most of the basic stuff. And some of it I do augmented. Like I walk with a cane because I have damage to my knees and one of my ankles. And it's not bad enough yet for surgery. It will be. That's what the doctor tells me. It's not bad enough yet for surgery in my knees, but the cane keeps me from falling for the most part. I only fell once this year, so I'm happy about that. That seems like a weird thing to be happy about. So I walk with a cane, so when I do some of the poses, sometimes I have one hand on a table, like if you have your arm up like this and I'm standing, I have one hand on a table. And I do the old style yoga where you hold the pose for a while and you breathe into it. And I found that it helps with the pain because it stretches the joints. It gets more oxygen into the joints. And it strengthens the muscles because you're holding, I'm not an expert in exercise either, but for me, I found that it strengthens the muscles because you're holding a position for a certain amount of time. So that has helped me, and I try to do that. I think I do that almost every day. I do like a short version when I'm doing different things, like sometimes when I have the dog outside, I have a small set that I do, and then occasionally I have a set that I do before bed. It depends on how my hips are feeling. When my pain is really bad in my hips, I don't know how to describe it. It sometimes gets where it feels like I have broken bones. That's the only thing I can compare it to. In my hips, both sides. I lay down, I can only lay on my back. I can't lay on my sides when that happens. And I can't really fall asleep when it's that bad. So I've found that an electric blanket helps with that. Heat feels good on the sore joints, but they say that cold is better for getting the inflammation down. So, but sometimes you have to get past that pain. I've also found that sometimes if my hands are really bad, if they're swollen, they're not swollen right now, but sometimes they're so swollen you don't see these, you know how you can see the knuckles and stuff? Sometimes they're so swollen you can't see that. And it'll get really swollen in my thumb right in here. So if I need to do stuff with my hands and like there's no way around it and my hands are swollen, I have these arthritis gloves. I bought them on Amazon, and I believe they're by Isotoner. They're like, they have the seams on the outsides. They kind of help you do things for longer than you would normally be able to do with it just swollen. It compresses the joints and helps get the swelling down, and I find help with that. Excuse me. And with all things with the movement, they always say, you know, when you wake up in the morning and you're in a lot of pain or your joints are, they're not loose, they're stiff. You wake up with stiff joints in the morning from arthritis. The doctors always say, movement is good, it takes some of the pain away, and it does. It does. Most of the time, that helps a lot. But there are times when there is so much pain, and you've done so much that day, you're just exhausted, that sometimes you just have to sit. That's just the way it is, you know? Anyway, for other things about pain, I would like to try, and I talked to my doctor about this, it's medical marijuana is becoming legal in Pennsylvania. Well, it was made legal last year. Sometime this year it's supposed to be available as an oil and in a pill form. I asked my doctor about trying that. He said that he's going to look into it because he doesn't know how it's prescribed. So I'm guessing, I mean, he's a rheumatologist. So you think that they would be teaching them by now, they would be showing them how to prescribe it. But I don't know if it has the backing of any big drug companies, and really the drug companies are the ones that go in and teach, tell the doctors, here's our new medicine, and this is the different amounts that are prescribed and the amount of time that you do it, and et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of a learning curve for everybody, including doctors, and I hope that I'll get to have that. It would be nice to have a respite from the pain. Most of the time I don't have a ton of pain. I have pain every day, but there are days when it's so bad, so bad. It's just, there, you can't do anything. I mean, you walk around, I walk around, I try to do what I can do, but, I mean, you know, it's just, it's hard to live with somebody that's in a lot of pain, so I'm told, so. Anyway, that's what I have to say about pain management, and it's my experience with pain management. And if you have experiences you want to share, please leave it in the comments, and I'd love to hear from you. And I hope to talk to you again soon.